In this section, we're going to solve triangles using something called the law of cosines. Perhaps you remember the Pythagorean theorem, which says in a right triangle, the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the two legs. The law of cosines is a generalization of the Pythagorean theorem. It says the square of one side of a triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides minus twice the product of the sides times the cosine of the angle opposite the side that we're looking for. In other words, if you have a triangle, we could say that b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac times the cosine of b. Or you could say c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times the cosine of c. Or you could say a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cosine of a. Let's look at this middle situation. If c were to equal 90 degrees, then you would have c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times the cosine of 90 degrees. But the cosine of 90 degrees is 0, so this entire portion drops out, and you're left with c squared equals a squared plus b squared, which is your Pythagorean theorem. Now what we're going to do is use this formula, the law of cosines, to find the length b. We're going to use the top form of the law of cosines to do this. We're going to get that b squared equals a squared is 2 plus b squared is 4 minus 2 times a times c times the cosine of 45 degrees. This gives us that b squared is about 8.686, and so that b is approximately 2.95. Now that we know b and we know the angle 45 degrees, we can go ahead and use the law of sines to find a. We would say that the sine of the angle a divided by 2 equals the cosine of, equals the sine of 45 degrees divided by the value of b, which is 2.95. When you are doing this, I recommend that you store the unrounded value of b in your calculator and use that unrounded value when using the law of sines. If we work this out, we get that the sine of a is equal to 0.4798, which means that the angle A is approximately 28.7 degrees. Now that I know A and I know B, I can find the angle C is going to be 180 degrees minus 45 degrees minus 28.7 degrees, or that angle C is 106.3 degrees.